When Steel talks, everybody listens.
So, is the Steelpan art form itself at a point where you thought it might have been at this point in time? And if you don't think so, what do you think is, the cause of that?
You mean it's an art form unto itself?
No, in terms of the development where it might have been in terms of acceptance or further along on the world stage, or maybe even better appreciated in the country of Trinidad and Tobago. If you think that there's any developments that could have happened further along.
Yes. I think had Bertie been allowed to, well, it's a tough one, because it was because of a fire in his house. His house exploded in a raging inferno, and he lost everything. He lost a Bertphone, and he spent all his every I interviewed his wife, his former wife, and she said every penny went into that. Every penny went into his Bertphone. Coming up with the
prototype of the Bertphone.
Yeah, and because actually what he really wanted to do when he amplified the pans was to have a smaller band, because when he amplified the tenor pan and they played every valley shall be exalted, and they won the bomb with that, and it sticks to my craw because I'm an all-stars guy, and we were the champion of music of the masters. We originated that with Minuet in G. And all the bands started following All Stars. Actually, All Stars did that because they wanted to bring back the crowd. Everybody was going down with Invaders down to Woodbrook, and they had to come back down to behind the bridge. He says, none of that. I'll play the bombs. And we got people from Tanapuna and all over the country coming to. We were one of the biggest bands. I mean, I have to say the band is 4,000 people on the Carnival Tuesday. But coming back to your question, Bertie had this idea that he was going to do it different family of pans, so that the whole band would be like that. It would be like 6 or 7 guys, and you'd have a bigger sound. And his thing was, he says, if the audience tells you that they can't hear you, they're not the problem. You are the problem. And that's his big thing about amplification. He says, when they amplify other musical instruments, why not pan? It doesn't take away from the fact that it's a musical instrument, because a lot of people has this thing about, well, it's like the calypso thing. Oh, you have to compose calypso to be a calypsonian, but it wasn't in that mode,
So in essence, what you're saying is that the tragedy of the fire that occurred
yes.
really set a particular
that's
development
a benchmark,
in pan
yes.
that would have probably evolved.
It set
through
it
Bertie
back.
Marshall, it actually took it off the landscape because we haven't heard anything about
right.
that.
It set it back. It set it back. And the thing too is that there was people were envious of Bertie and his band, because he had a band of he's like Robin Hood, the band of merry men. Well, that's what Bertie was, Robin Hood, but he wasn't robbing the rich to the poor. But what Bertie was doing, his music was so innovative. Leslie Slater was one of his early arrangers.
Answers my next question to Leslie.
And Leslie would do. Leslie was an all-stars guy before. He loved the all-stars at the time, but he lived right next door to Bertie, and Bertie depended on him, And he was Leslie, aka Professor. A lot of people want to know why he's called a professor, but he looks like one. But he is a professor in his own right because he's very knowledgeable in music. Depending on Leslie, and Leslie arranged for him Gypsy Ronda, Mama This Is Mass, Hold Me Close Tonight, Waltz by Faust, the thing by Gounod, and then he came to the United States. So Bertie had to do Every Valley Shall Be Exalted and other music.
When Steel talks, everybody listens.